A little bit more.
How's that?
That's good.
All right. Looks like we're about to get started.
They're feeling very snazzy.
They are. I should also get my link up real quick while they're getting this started for the stream on Instagram.
I mean, don't worry about it too much. Just
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You do one job, please.
I will do one job. Alrighty. How is everybody doing? Are you guys excited for this? Woo!
They are treating it weirdly like a 1970s, like...
Yeah, I don't understand this music at all with this art.
I hope someone just tunes in right now.
Yeah, Warhammer 40k.
This is way too jazzy. I mean, technically you're showing pictures of people dying.
I know. I'm like, this is so upbeat and like, yeah, let's dance, everybody.
Look at these deformed monstrosities before God and man.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh, you know, I hadn't actually thought of that. We might actually get some new footage of Space Marine 2. That would be cool.
Hello everybody and welcome to this very special Warhammer preview online. It is Warhammer Day and we are bringing you...
Ooh, Jump Pack Primaris would be super cool to see.
My name is Adam Troke and I'm joined by Eddie Eccles.
Please turn up the volume in the window. No.
In this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
You and me both, yes.
Thank you.
Warhammer Day.
Happy Warhammer Day.
Happy Warhammer Day to all of you. And we hope
Happy Warhammer Day, everybody!
Woo.
seeing some cool stuff that maybe you haven't seen before and learning a little bit about it. Whew. So, where do we begin? Well, over the next hour or so, as I said, we're going to show you lots of cool things. Before we do, let's get bedded in. There is a question I always ask. Mr. Lamatastic has his answer primed and ready to go.
That's true. We do have to ask this question as well. Where is everybody from?
Warhammer Day from? Let us know in the chat. And then I can
got it before them.
Explodes immediately with Glasgow in Scotland. Scotland are in the lead with early start, but here we go, it's gone mad. Taunton in the UK, Oregon in the USA, Belgium, Taiwan, Perth in Australia. It's a good time of the day for Australia, is it today?
I think it's always nice.
Middle of the night, maybe? Yes.
Good lord, that would... I hope...
Thank you.
Yeah, 6 a.m. sucks for us, but it ain't that bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say 6 a.m. is kind of rough, but it's not too bad. Like, I'm typically up at this time anyways, but...
Around the world, you know, me and Adam are always excited about 40k.
Ooh, new Necron kill team would be cool. I would love to see some new Necrons.
So close to the...
Florida and Alabama and New York, excellent.
Before we kick off, gonna have a little retrospective, maybe a little look back on the last 35 years of 40k, while we're kind of waiting for other people to turn up in the chat.
The Netherlands, that's cool.
Pretty busy 35 years for Warhammer 40k.
Welcome everybody, welcome. Wisconsin, nice.
Before we jump into this, what was your first Warhammer 40,000 model?
So my first model ever, I think, was probably like a relatively by the
Mine was a Space Marine. My first model was a Space Marine, for sure.
No,
Technically, it was Orcs and Space Marines, because I think the first kit I bought was the 5th edition starter set.
I am a child of 2nd edition.
Yeah, it was the 5th edition starter set. So, like, technically, it would have been Orcs and Space Marines, but I took the Space Marines of the set and sold the Orcs. Yeah, 6 a.m. is a little rough, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Ooh, from Hungary, that's cool. Yes, you were going to say.
I was going to say, I think my first model was actually a pewter blister for the Eldar.
I was wondering, because you started with the Eldari, so, like, I would assume...
I did not get a starter set.
You got a blister first? Do you remember, was it one of the, like, Farseers or something, or...?
It was either a Farseer or a Banshee.
Nice! Oh, I do love the Banshees. They look so cool.
I think I bought a few things the first...
Well, they were cheaper, probably, than, like, the blisters than getting a full set, and as a kid, like...
Oh, yeah, that's how I built up the squads.
Absolutely. Belgium and Norway, so cool. We've got an international group of people here. That's awesome.
It's your Crimson Fist boys.
Yeah. Oh, my babies! Look at them. They're so this is actually one of the pieces that I remember seeing first and being like, oh, they look cool.
So, talking about like
I hadn't realized that one of the first arts I saw with them was the Beak Boys.
Of Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, sometimes known now as First Edition.
I never realized Goro was in the background.
No, in the chat.
Oh yeah, he is in the background,
Yeah.
isn't he? Holy cow!
this was, of course, like more.
Dude, I love these shoulders. I love the bumpy shoulders. Yeah, like really nice design there. They're fun to paint.
Really set the sort of tone for that grim darkness of
the Tyranids start collecting. That's cool. It's a good set.
Victory by the forces of the orcs over the contemptuous.
I have a cat.
You do have a cat. Look at that boy.
When I was
He's so good.
So absolutely love it. Oh, everybody's chiming in.
Right in the nostalgia. Ooh.
Yeah. So. Yeah, what else is there to say? Crimson Fist will be making Flawed last night.
Oh, I remember when those were in stores because I'm old.
Dude, okay, if this is what they did for the Tyranids modernly, I'd be way more into them. I like that red, like I like the pop of red more than I like the white and purple design that they do.
Yeah, that's the
That's Leviathan, right?
I don't know my Tyranid high fleet.
Somebody who is into Tyranids, tell me which one the white and purple that they use on the box art is, because that's my least favorite. Unfortunately, I like literally every other color scheme that they do except for that one. I don't know why. It's just something about the design just does not sit with me.
It was awesome.
Hello.
These codexes, they really.
Do you want to come say hi to me? You want to be on stream more focused? Come here.
People like Jervis Johnson and Andy Chambers and Rick Priestley and so on to really dive into the background of these forces.
Look at this cat.
Bring it to life, as you say. Angels of Death changed my life. I get the impression. Did yours
Hello,
too?
I'm a star.
Well, of course it didn't.
This is my cat.
This was
that was the best starter set they ever did right there.
Ooh. Wait. Is that cardboard terrain?
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. I love the old style blast templates where you couldn't see through them.
Exactly, that was the problem.
Is that why they ended up going to that really like bright colored green plastic? Because I feel like I've only ever known the blast templates to be in that color tone.
Yeah, that's why.
Got it. Bjorn would be a great first kit, although a little intimidating. Isn't he like a really complicated model? Okay, so it is Leviathan. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Leviathan color scheme. I like the one, and I do not remember which fleet it is, but the red and blue Kraken, I believe. Maybe, if I'm remembering that correctly.
Massive fan of third edition.
This was my starter set.
Was this yours?
Yeah, look how much lamer it is compared to the second.
Wait, you only got 5 or 10 Space Marines in this?
Yep.
Oh, I guess you get the vehicle. I didn't see that there. Wait, did you actually get these terrain pieces, though?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's very small.
Oh, is it? I really like the idea of the tank traps, actually, though.
Those tank traps and those ruins, you can find in game stores floating around to this day.
I would imagine you could.
Not still a valid unit. If you wanted to play against me with it, I wouldn't say no, because it would be a hit in nostalgia. But
I love this. Is this the first Necron Codex?
Yes.
Okay.
Before that, they were like a white dwarf thing.
Ah, nice.
I'm old enough.
This is their first codexes for all 3.
Got it. Do you remember which edition?
4th.
Okay.
The Necrons did get a little.
So I didn't have this one then. I do think I bought. Didn't we buy an original, like an early Necron Codex? I thought.
Yeah, I think we might own it.
Models round, and one of them was the surprise guy. And the GM would move that, and eventually we revealed it.
Yes, all hail the Space Cat. Although he has decided he's had enough of us. He got his 3 minutes of fame, and he's like, I'm done. I'll be back later for more.
Yeah, he charges by the minute.
He does.
I love that one.
Ooh, okay, that's pretty cool.
And
It's been a while since I think I've seen this piece.
Wait, you haven't?
No, I've seen it, but I think it's been a while since I've looked at it.
The first times that the story for 40k moved a bit, because up until this point it was always a set.
I like how ridiculously tall those spikes on his back are when Abaddon's like...
How does he reach them to put the skulls on?
That's my exact question.
I know he has people to do it, but...
Okay, that he must, because like he's not going to be able to do it himself because they're just so freakishly tall. I remember when that came out.
I was gonna say, I think I'm still sitting on some.
We are. So I built one of them, and then I think I left the other one unbuilt because I was trying to figure out how to approach painting it.
Airbrush.
Oh my god, that would be the way to do it now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely went from kind of.
I love their cool like sailed ships.
Yeah.
40k overnight.
It's my favorite type of
the other one I'd put up there
like
would be the,
realistic spaceship
well,
design.
It's very John Carter.
That's kind of why I like it. It gives me that
John Carter of
that
Mars.
John Carter of Mars vibe a little bit.
Original design aesthetic completely, but just leapt it forward.
There's been some doozies. Yeah,
But
yeah. And of course, Leagues of Votan
Jeans of the Cult might be the winner.
And then we had Knights, the arrival of Knights. And
Are they just going through when they released? Okay, I've kind of missed the point of what we were going through all this
We are
art for.
celebrating the history
Of when they came. Yes, no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Which, the longer this goes, the more it makes me think we're getting 10th edition.
Yeah, I agree. Like the fact that they're, I mean, I
They
know
may
they're.
not call it 10th edition. They may do they may do the Dungeons and Dragons thing where they're like,
And even these days,
oh, we're just going to treat it as Warhammer 40k and update it as we care and not call it editions anymore. But I really think we're getting to an announcement.
If they do that though, I really feel like they have to go digital with their rules release to a certain extent though, because like it would be ridiculous the amount of errata and like constant rules changes that they could potentially put out there.
If they were doing printed still.
If they were doing printed still, it'd be ridiculous. So like, I don't know. I do think we're gonna get an announcement of 10th in some form. I just don't know. Like, is it gonna be Age of the Emperor? Like, are they gonna?
It could be like 9.5 even.
Yeah, they did kind of do that when they did the Sisters release for 8th into 9th. I'm wondering if like
kind of did that.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if with like either the World Eaters.
There's your boy.
He's so good.
With
I do want to paint him sometime soon.
He's not as scary as he used to be.
He's really not. Like I feel like I can block out the color of where I'd want to put things at this point, and I really am gonna give him purple wings.
We went, hang on a minute, this isn't...
Yeah.
This is
I don't know, the bone is kind of cool though, isn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna have a word with you about that.
The bone is pretty cool. Okay, I'm still gonna do the purple though, I think on the
boning, yeah.
Yeah. But I guess like the flaps I'll do and ooh, I'll use Mortarion Grime over top like...
Shocking.
Yeah, I know, right? Mortarion Grime on Mortarion? Who would have thought it?
Now that it really has never done in my previous, like, I don't know, the first 27 years or so of my experience.
You think it'll be behind a paywall of Warhammer Plus? I'm hoping not. I don't think so.
It's a good theory though.
I really hope that's not what they do.
Maybe just a little bit of hope.
I really hope. I mean, if they do put it behind a Warhammer Plus subscription, then they can't charge extra for anything else with it, though.
Yeah, it's
And they need to come out with it very regularly if they're going to do that. Like,
I think they're gonna put. I mean, I think they'll put their. I mean, they already have. They have their terrible army builder app.
yeah, and that's tied to the Warhammer Plus app, isn't it? Technically?
I don't know. It may not be.
Okay.
For me, it's just how the main battle.
I think they're gonna at least. I think you're right. I think it's gonna be teased. I don't think they're gonna release it.
I don't think they're gonna show us like the new starter kit or anything.
Yeah.
But I suspect we might get like a teaser logo or something.
Absolutely, and maybe an announcement of it's like coming in like the end of 2023 or something, because there's 3 codexes.
What's the focus of this presentation? If it's just the slideshow,
it should not be just the slideshow. I mean, okay, my focus, my assumption of the focus is going to be World Eaters, because I think they're going to start showing us some of that. I think I'm hoping for something about the Imperial Guard, because we have their codex that's still due, and we haven't seen anything from it. And then I'm assuming we're just gonna get the preview of like 10th is coming in the holiday season of 2023, and they'll leave it at that. Or maybe it's coming in the summer of 2023. Or like somebody said in the chat, they may be saving it for Gen Con next year.
I can see that.
And I could totally see that. Like I could totally see GW being. We had some success this past year with some stuff that happened at Gen Con. Let's do it again and announce the, I feel like when Gen Con happened, they released one of their Kill Team sets or something. Something came out, I feel like, at that time.
I don't remember.
I don't remember specifically either. I just feel like there was something.
on extra. So you can choose your doom depending on whereabouts in the galaxy you want to go to, but pretty much it's apocalypse everywhere.
Yes.
I do love the new Necron models.
Oh, and then
Hey, look, it's those 30k dwarves.
Yeah! That we've nerfed into the ground.
They're not into the ground.
They're not into the ground, but it's interesting what they've done. Especially considering things like models and units aren't actually out yet.
It's still those point cost changes. I don't know about those. The auto wound to 6 change I'm good with.
Yeah, no, that one I'm good with too. Because I don't feel like it should be that powerful. Especially when, like, I really do compare the tokens to Tau marker lights, and Tau marker lights are nowhere near this strong. So I just feel like neither should the judgment tokens.
Yep, gotta love it.
Right.
Then
Well,
there's our faces.
That's us. So that's the history. You're
It
up
was
to
good.
date.
I loved it. Yeah. Do you know what? I get quite excited.
The whole stream's over. Good job, guys. Everybody's done.
And fun as well as some speculation
Yeah.
that we might see today.
Bye.
I
Hi,
couldn't
Tom.
say
Good afternoon.
which edition got the biggest shout out.
Welcome to the
What
stream.
I'd like to do is just right now, whatever your first edition was, bang the number in the chat. I'm really
Tell me what your
curious.
first edition was.
I
Mine was
thought I
4.
had it, but I'm
4.
genuinely- Oh, it's gone wild.
No, 5. Sorry,
I
I
was gonna
lied.
say, wait,
I
what
lied.
are you saying?
It's 5.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome to buy.
Like, third was mine.
Full screen of 8s. This is exciting.
The points changes, I think, were needed,
35.
but not as severely as what they actually
I
did.
couldn't tell you, it's just the percentages felt high.
Yeah, it felt really high what they did, so...
Myself, or fresh-faced and new, welcome to Warhammer 40,000. Welcome to the stream.
Thanks.
Happy Warhammer Day.
Thank you. Happy Warhammer Day, everybody.
Then we had a shameless plug.
Ooh, second, nice.
Go, plug away.
Hang on.
Oh.
There we go. Right. So
Shameless plug.
Shameless
and
plug.
It's actually one of the most exciting things about Warhammer Day.
How is it a shameless plug when this entire stream is a commercial?
Yeah, I'm like, this entire stream is just a commercial for you guys.
Sir, he is certainly holding that sword differently.
Yeah. I will say, though, I talked about it a little bit on the news when they announced this guy. It is great. Proper use of, like, the... superhero landing pose of...
Good momentum.
Yes, there's super good momentum. It's not overdone. Because sometimes I feel like when they do that, especially if the characters have capes, they, like, make them fly up really high. And I'm like, okay, except that the fabric that cape is made of probably is not going to flow, even with, like, it's just probably not going to flow like that.
Super. So
Change it a little bit differently. Make it a little less poof.
GW.com.
There's one in particular Age of Sigmar model that just really bothers me. It's the guy with the hammers coming off of his cape. It just, it looks so weird.
Yeah, let's see some.
New stuff! Woo!
Yes! 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 Yes!
Yay!
Cadia stands!
They're beautiful. These are new, right?
They look it.
Oh, I like them.
Yeah, they're
That's a really nice stance. Oh, that banner! I love banners I can paint that are pre-sculpted. He looked like a named character to me, but I don't know if, like, he might just be...
Artillery!
New tanks?
Ooh! Ooh!
Oh, I love it.
It's the new heavy. That's
It
the new
is!
heavy.
Oh my god, it's the new... didn't they have a smaller, like,
That's
a really...
yeah, there they are.
Hey, it's our heavy weapons team! Hey, there's only 2 of them on it. Didn't they normally come with 3?
Yeah, I think that's so, actually.
Ooh, I like the commissar.
Oh, new Sentinel!
It's gonna be a really cool, like... Ah.
Nice.
Oh, I hope this is a start collecting Yes! Sorry if that was really loud, the clapping. I am so excited for that box set. I am getting it. I cannot wait. Cadia stands!
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a whole heap of new things on the way for the Astra Militarum.
That's cool.
Particularly for Cadia. So there is a new army box set, and there is a range of other miniatures that are coming alongside it. But let's have a look at the box set first.
So good.
So this is.
I already own so many Imperial cards.
I know, but we have to get this. Like, I need that banner boy.
Reinvention of the infantry.
I really do love the that heavy artillery gun.
It's the Cadia stand set.
Oh, I didn't notice he was covering his ears.
You get a sentinel.
The guy next to the
holding the box.
yeah, holding the ammo crate box, like he's got his ears covered. That's such a nice.
I want to hear what they're saying.
Sorry.
Which you can build in a variety of different ways. The other thing you get in the army set is the first access to the codex.
Okay, I was hoping they would say the weapons, but they didn't. Never mind.
Got it.
Your army for all the new units that are joining your army, and for the various different ways you can put an Astra Militarum army together. It's probably fair to say that Imperial Guard Astra Militarum fans have been waiting for their army for quite a long time. They're like pretty much last up of the existing armies for this edition. But one of the reasons is that they
Demons go, hey, what the?
Yeah, I was about to say Chaos Demons. Excuse you.
Yeah, so there's loads and loads of really cool stuff in there. But that is your launch set. That's what you get to kick off your new.
I like the box.
I love the box. I love that. Much like the Votan, they did that second art piece beneath the sleeve.
Cadian shock troops. They are the backbone of the Cadian regiments, of course. Dispossessed.
I like the guy screaming into the Vox.
They all have helmets.
They all have helmets. It's good.
Wherever there are Cadians standing against the enemy, Cadia remains. And so, incredible new plastic multi-part kit with some gorgeous options.
You know what I just realized?
What?
Absolutely. So
I think the designs in Titanicus, that like, is that what it's called? Whatever that app that I've been playing is, I think they're based off of these models.
You get an idea of like.
Oh, the free-to-play mobile game?
Yeah,
it's not Titanicus.
In the kit.
Or Tacticus. Yeah, sorry. In Warhammer Tacticus.
So they probably got to see the concept
I think
art.
they got to see the concept art, because I swear that the Cadians that you fight in the
kit with loads of options.
In the game
are based off that. That's cool.
One of the things.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but like the Vox guy really reminds me of like their Vox characters.
About the new Cadian.
I love the. I know it's just their paint job, but I love the camo helmet.
You can either use them as an infantry squad, in which case you can add.
I really like that flamer.
Or you can use
The flamer is cool.
Like the dude's mask, the wearing the gator looks good.
Yeah. No, that looks really cool. I also like both the guys that are running and one's throwing the grenade and the other is like on comms or something.
Yeah.
Like I really like that they're paying attention
More moments.
to more moments within the battles.
Unique abilities as shock troops.
Awesome. And as you can see, there's a host of options within the new infantry squad. You've got Flamer, melter gun, you had a plasma gun on the previous page.
All the
You've got
classics.
Vox operator, sergeant.
So cool.
Loads of great poses, loads of options. It's going to be very good.
My wallet's going to be hurting too.
There's no kneeling legs in the kit, of course, because.
Is that because the Cadians stand?
That's because Cadians stand.
That's amazing. Okay, that's cute. That's cute.
Love for these in the chat.
The banner!
I'm not done with the Cadians by any measure.
This is what I want. I want the command squad
That
so bad.
Vox guy is so having a bad day.
He is. He's like, sir, there are just
Too many.
everything. There's demons, there's Eldar, there's orcs. It's everything.
And my fist.
And my fist.
But right now,
He's got a cigar in his mouth too.
It adds loads
The guy with the fist.
to your kits as well. So you
That's
can
great.
mix and match
Are you
these
gonna
to
take it
fit
from
with
him?
The other
No.
Cadians, so heads and things are interchangeable. The detail on them is lovely. You've got like.
I like to imagine he uses that hand to like take it out. Yeah.
The guy with the powerful.
Just looks tiny.
Got a cigar, which is like a pretty classic Cadian thing. There's lots of bits of artwork.
You know you're a battle-hardened sergeant.
Absolutely, yeah. When you're allowed to have a cigar
stub.
Yeah, I really like the Vox guy at the top, who's got like a mix of weird future tech, and also he's like printing out a
Is it
little.
like he's sort of printing out as he goes along?
Yeah, it's like, have you got a receipt for that artillery bombardment? The commander's really cool as
That's
well.
kind of cute. I hadn't noticed the receipt printer.
He's got a holding helmet pose, and he clearly has been through the wars as well because he's got a huge scar across the front of his face. But a really characterful, almost again a diorama-esque sort of unit to show off your painting skills, because you might have quite a lot of infantry in your army, but you can take your time on these guys.
That is true. I do feel like GW has intentionally
Copium!
yeah. They're like, here, buy these because they look cool. I love the guy covering his ears. He's like, it's exploding. Protect my ears. Emperor, protect my ears.
Okay, so there are 3 on each one.
Okay. Oh, okay, so we just saw
Build R, he says, and then gasps.
one without. They just didn't put it on there. Weird.
Because the last thing I want to do is mislead the chat, but you have a heavy las cannon that's front and center. Then you have, I think it's called a bombard gun. I think
it is. Yeah.
And then, I'm gonna forget the name. Tactically blow the name of the other artillery piece. You're just gonna have to trust me that it's awesome.
The multi-cannon shoot.
Yeah, the multi-cannon shoot.
It's
Isn't that the one that doesn't require line of sight?
And a Malice rocket.
I thought it was.
Malice rocket launcher.
They do some different things. And
Nice, that's a good name.
Like
I actually didn't know that's what it was called.
Back of your
Yeah, because I would have thought it was a mortar.
Yeah, I would have just called it a mortar.
They've all got pretty hefty range. They all shoot 48.
I just realized.
48 inch.
You've got basically
Nice.
that rocket launcher on the top left. That is just a vast amount of hits on something. So you point that at something you want to get loads of hits against. That's your infantry wrecker. The heavy las cannon does what you'd expect. It's a las cannon plus, so it does more damage than a regular las cannon.
But heavier.
It's a
D6 plus 3.
Makes sense.
You could probably even guess the stats if you took a go. And then the bomb blast at the top right is basically, if you think about it, as like a slightly smaller Earthshaker cannon. So you can shoot stuff that you can't see. It dishes out multiple blast damage, 2 shots.
The Earthshaker is the Basilisk.
Oh.
The artillery cannon.
Okay.
In relative safety.
Oh, the one that used to have the 10-foot range.
Yeah. Shucks, I wonder if it's not going to have its 10-foot range
It
anymore.
said it's 4 foot.
Okay, well that's still reasonable.
Sort of bases with the field guns.
I think you could still hit a separate table, right?
Yeah, if you're close to the edge.
Targets or raising your hand, calling for fire, different head options. They're fantastic.
That was like one of the best things about one of the few Apocalypse games that I participated
The
in.
giant long range.
The giant long range artillery, where they were just like, well, I'm gonna just shoot something at the opposite end of the table.
That was also the era of guess range, so you'd have to guess like 10 feet, 11 inches.
That's true. That is true. That is when we played that game.
I miss
The ridiculousness.
I
The
miss
ridiculousness
guess
of some.
weapons a little.
You
You can tell I'm not competitive.
That's where it is for me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So these guys only have 2 now.
So they upgraded. Okay, that's what they did to make a difference.
Got it.
Available individually, and they'll be backed up by a range of other things. So one of
I
things
love
that
every
is
single one of them.
Almost essential.
Like all of it. Like I'm looking at every single scene, and I'm like, that is a scene. That is a scene.
Good
That is a
personality
scene.
in each one.
Yeah, like they all have character.
Autocannons, heavy bolters, las cannons, whatever.
And I love that.
You
Thank
can
you,
add a
GW.
little bit of heavy firepower to your infantry squads, and they can have a missile launcher or
Or thank you to the sculptors, I guess.
Killing stuff that they might otherwise struggle with. Much like the artillery, each one of these effectively gives you a little diorama scene to play out. You've got like the guys reloading and spotting and shouting orders and directing fire and things like that. You guys know what these do. They've been in Warhammer 40,000.
You know
I don't
they
need
are.
to tell you.
A reinvention of the miniatures.
And
Woo, boy.
keep these guys in line, and there will be a new Astra Militarum commissar who looks really quite stern and uncompromising.
Yeah, he looks like he means business, doesn't he? So
He's just like standing there, like
most of your Astra Militarum
As a
arms
sta-
completely straight out,
That is a
locked.
starched coat.
Yes, he actually can't bend his elbows.
Yeah, it's just the coat is it's
So
made out of
stiff.
steel.
That's one way to protect your command.
A bit more armored maybe than some of the
He just
commissars.
waddles.
He just is like,
It's really interesting. Some of the commissars we've seen over the years have very heroic leading from the front type poses, don't they? Whereas he almost seems like the sinister standing at the back, making sure you're doing your job.
Yeah, you see like an onrushing horde of orcs.
Are you trying to imply that a commissar, sir, is not necessarily the most heroic individual?
Yeah, he looks great, but also
ridiculous.
friendly.
We
Okay.
only have the most heroic commissars
You don't become a commissar.
in the
We'll
Imperium.
be eyebrow gone, can we?
Yeah.
So if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
stand
yeah.
a little higher than your friends.
It's like a reverse Pokeball.
The little arm with the chain sword is so...
Derp.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, so
Like a little T-Rex arm.
Oh my god, it is! Can I give him 2?
And we do have a shot to what happens when you choose.
Can I just like put 2 of those arms on and he's just walks up, Blaze going.
Kits. You can see the kind of packs of equipment on the side of it as well, which is kind of hinting towards that scout nature. You can imagine that these.
I don't think they probably will be.
the rest
I
of the
imagine
Militarum army and maybe
they'll make it
some
fairly
camps
easy.
and things to keep watch on enemy positions, that sort of thing. And you can give it a chainsword, which actually in the new rules
Converting
isn't too
them
bad
to,
anymore. It's not too shabby. actually.
Yes,
It used to
Commissar
be
Kane.
almost like a token extra attack, but now it can. It's not going to win a fight against any dreadnoughts, but it can certainly see off some light infantry or something like that.
Yep. I think the protruder.
I love the backpack of the person inside on both sides
Oh,
of
yeah,
the like their equipment that they got attached to the side. Like it's just those little details that I really enjoy.
Alongside the
Oh, I like the sensor. Is that a,
Searchlight.
oh, it's a searchlight. Got it. That's cool looking.
So, and it's got the heavier armor.
I don't know what that
cabin,
the pillar
Yeah,
with
and
the
you can
skull
see there's,
inside of it, like the little house with the skull inside of it.
And the current Sentinel kits is the current one.
But
the
it's
only
beautiful.
really between the
Oh, I don't know what that sigil means.
Yeah, I don't know what it means either, but I do enjoy it immensely.
I'm sure it's something in Cadian. Military
a nice
iconography.
Gene Stealer
Yeah,
cosplayers.
probably.
Like myself, I might be
Yes.
picking up a few of these and painting them purple with some graffiti sprawled across.
Oh
them.
yeah, Gene Stealer
They
cult.
look quite similar to.
Oh yeah, that would actually be
Well,
very
kind of
cool for
industrial
Gene
look.
Stealer
They
Cult.
look no nonsense. So I think
Nice.
they'll Gene Stealer up pretty well.
Not sure there's anything you could proxy
I'm with you.
right though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Of course, there's gonna be
Alright.
some rules for these guys in the new codex, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that
Oh.
is worth noting about the new Astra Militarum army is that currently the way that you do an Astra Militarum force is that you need to
Oh,
pick
cool.
a regiment, and then once you've kind of picked a regiment, you're sort of locked into that force. That's not the way that the new rules work for Astra Militarum. It's much more similar to if you remember the Imperial Guard armies of maybe 2nd edition, where you had like a
I do very well.
few Mordians and you had a
Yep.
few.
Their las and hotshot lasses can become heavy too if they
all
remain
mixed together,
stationary. That's kind of cool.
formed into a grand crusade under the banner of a kind of high commander.
Dang.
You have some auxiliary units like Ogryns and things like that.
I do
So what
believe
you
that
do
the stream is
in
only going to be
the,
focused on
Astra
40k
Militarum army
products,
is
which is a little weird considering they're celebrating 35 years and, you know, they have more games than just 40k, but the article when they announced it was talking about how it was going to be just 40k reveals. So far, we've gotten the Astra Militarum, Cadia stands.
Or artillery or something like that.
Yep.
And within that, you can choose what special rules you want to apply. So it basically means that you don't need to decide on your rules before you start collecting your miniatures. There are obviously
That's kind of nice.
things that
Makes
lend
collecting the
themselves
miniatures
really
a little bit
well to
easier.
existing regiments. So we've got a couple of examples up there. So parade drill is a good one. If you have a Mordian army and you like lining them up in firing ranks as the enemy charge towards you, this is one of the army special rules that you can choose to have, which gives you a benefit.
So basically, every army will have a bit of custom army rules.
It does seem that way. That is...
So you could have Cadians who might be heavy weapons, or you might have Cadians who are more, because they're saying you could mix and match.
Yeah, yeah.
Taking casualties and you can hit
Which
back
is
on them.
interesting.
So
I kind of
there
like that
are
idea, I
regiments
think.
that lend themselves to specific rules, but you don't have to stick within that regiment. So lots of people will have picked up maybe Kill Team last year, and they'll have a squad of Death Corps of Krieg. You can absolutely put those in with your new Cadians, and it works as an army.
I mean, when you think
Okay,
about
so
it,
that's nice that it's not breaking, like...
in Black
I mean, there's nothing that stops you from doing that. They're just doing it for competitive.
You know, multiple
That's
regiments
true.
in one battle zone.
That's
the
true.
Friction between the different guard regiments is one of my favourite things about the Gaunt's Ghost books, for example. And somebody in the chat just suggested.
Is that what it is? It's 35 years since Rogue Trader.
Yep.
Got it, okay.
It seems completely right in my mind. Also, big shout out to the extremely sort of gnarly look of the Cadian.
Was Rogue Trader or
in this
Fantasy
artwork.
first?
The grim
No.
dark aesthetic dialed up to
That didn't answer the
Yeah,
question. Was
I think
Rogue
the
Trader
last
or
one
Fantasy
was-
first?
Oh, sorry.
Style,
Fantasy was first.
Ah, okay.
Has just got that grim darkness absolutely down. Obviously,
Sorry,
there's
I thought you asked,
lots
is
of
Rogue
planets
Tra-
that
was
are
Rogue Trader
through the
Fantasy
wars
first?
of
And I was like, no.
Oh, sorry. No.
My
No.
bad.
being a bit sad about it, have decided to get.
Oh, I see. Apparently Fantasy's turning 40 years old soon.
Yeah.
Got it,
I've
okay.
seen some questions flying
Big
by in
in
the chat,
25?
but there is like 27,000 of you, so my
Nice.
chance is 28,000.
I also, just this is a complete side note, I want to steal that Imperial Fist banner
We said when the miniature is
from
going
their
up
room.
for pre-order. If you're referring to the
and then put it on my wall.
Warhammer Day
In my
miniature,
game room.
that should be available
'Cause that would be
on the website now. If you're talking about this particular army set, sometime in the not too distant future,
It's not far
keep
off.
your eyes.
It's not far off.
It's the Christmas set, guys. It's
Yeah,
coming
it's-
out probably around Thanksgiving.
It's my expectation as well.
The normal Cadian shock troopers come on 25mm bases, so and I think the command squad are on 28.5. But that can all be
Yeah,
confirmed.
that 28 and a half.
Yeah, why is that a size suddenly? Like, why are we doing... Because, like, my... My flash gets were on a
Right.
weird, I think a weird
They're
size.
on boss spaces.
Oh, is that what it is?
That
Okay.
isn't everything that's on its way for...
Do you mean there might be more Astra
there is
Militarum
more
stuff?
stuff on the way for the Astra Militarum, maybe within this preview, and maybe even more after that. So
Very good.
we've shown you the.
There's no way there's not a tank.
Acadian stuff that's on its way.
Oh yeah, they have to be showing like a. Oh my god, do you think they've
You also
updated the Lehman
mentioned
Russ?
You get the Codex. That Codex
Yes.
is its sort of special edition cover. We haven't shown.
I
the
hope it's
cover,
beautiful
trust me, it's
and people aren't
amazing.
disappointed.
But
Hopefully
also-
it's one kit now instead of two.
And also, there's a transfer sheet for all of your.
Oh yeah, they do that, don't they now?
Yeah,
Where they've got like.
it's always been that way. They've always sold the sponsons in two different kits.
Yeah, that's so weird.
It's all right.
Or the turrets, I should say.
Why don't we throw over to the Warhammer Studios Warhammer 40,000 Lore Master, who's going to tell us all about the next big thing coming our way?
Arcs of Omen is a massive narrative campaign event taking place for all the factions in the Warhammer 40,000 universe,
Turn up a little.
named for particular Space Hulks that have emerged in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. So these are Space Hulks that have been tooled up a little bit. Abaddon has some assistance, it's fair to say, from a new player who's entered the game, who's turned these Space Hulks into Arcs of Omen. This is part of Abaddon's ongoing plan to subjugate the galaxy. It's a pretty big ask, so he does need some assistance, and it's probably fair to say it's not going to be good news for anyone not aligned with the War Master. So the introduction of a new fleet of tooled up Space Hulks with accompaniment from Chaos war fleets from various lieutenants and chosen warlords in Abaddon's service means there's a whole new scope for entirely different types of warfare in the 41st millennium. So you'll find new rules for boarding actions distributed through the Arcs of Omen campaign books as we're taking the fight onto Space Hulks, spaceships,
Okay.
orbital stations, anything that you can
To
imagine.
go with the
in
kill team
space.
terrain.
Yeah, exactly.
Battlefields of the planets of the 41st millennium into those sorts of environments. So it'll make use of some of the scenery that you'll have been familiar with from Kill Team Into the Dark, but scaling it up for a Warhammer 40,000 scale boarding action. So similarly to Kill Team Into the Dark, you can imagine there are going to be a lot of close-ranged firefights taking place, and there'll be certain units and troop types that benefit from those sorts of actions, maybe more so than others. So some of the longer-ranged troops maybe not getting quite so much of an airing, but the close-quarter bruisers and breachers, Tau breaching teams, Terminators, the sort of things that you can associate with
Terminators.
space clearing actions, that sort of stuff will certainly get a good
So
run out of
indoor
boarding
fights.
actions.
I kind of like the idea of that. I've heard really good things from people about the Into Dark kill team scenarios, so I'm kind of interested in seeing it scaled up to a 40k scale game.
Tried to take over, so he's had to make certain alliances and deal with various power brokers that exist in the galaxy of the 41st millennium. And we're going to see the introduction of a hitherto unknown figure that's going to help him in that regard. So
Bellicor?
there's something for every Warhammer 40,000 collector. There's
Maybe.
new rules for every faction to take part in boarding actions in the Void, and there's also some huge new pivotal background moments. And Arcs of Omen will probably go down as the biggest event in Warhammer 40,000 history since the establishment of the Great Rift.
Since the establishment of the Great Rift, not
I was
the
really-
largest event to happen in the 40k universe since the Horus Heresy.
I was
Not that one.
I was genuinely waiting for that to come out of his mouth because I was like, if you say since the Horus Heresy again, I swear.
Warhammer 40,000. This is Abaddon's next.
Look, that was
major
almost a
claim,
joke.
basically. He's ripped the
It probably
galaxy
was.
apart, with the Cicatrix Maledictum. He's been all but victorious at Vigilus, and his next play is alongside a new demonic ally that he's got. He's created the Arcs of Omen and huge fleets of.
It has to be
gone
Bellicor,
out
right?
To collect
I think so.
artifacts for some unknown nefarious purpose. It's kind of the dark mirror almost of the Indomitus Crusade, setting out
Ooh,
to.
I like that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Fiction.
Maybe we're not going to
So
get
setting
10th,
out
because
to,
this sort of feels like the narrative stuff that
find
will lead
all
to
sorts
10th.
of, like,
I
artifacts
really
and
agree. Like I said, I really feel like the only thing we're gonna get from 10th is maybe like a logo
bad news if he's
or like
It's happening next year.
it's happening next year. But if we got nothing
I mean, I'm
from
not
it,
disappointed.
No,
It's not that I necessarily need it. I love that art.
I also love this art. Holy cow!
Thing
That explosion is so
that blue
cool
cloud
looking.
is cool.
Yeah.
You can see like bits of teeth there coming out. So I mean, it means
When
that
space has teeth and tongues,
yeah,
you
it's
know
not,
you're
it's
in
not
trouble.
nice. So the arcs themselves are space hulks. They're these enormous, great conglomerations
So
of
cool.
loads of ships mashed together over the millennia inside the warp and turned into.
You know, I'm normally
enormous
not a
big
huge fan of
floating
art
fortresses.
that uses
Chaos
predominantly
taken them and turned
primary
them into these
colors, but
enormous
like
arcs, so these are the center of.
this
of
is done
chaos
so
fleets.
well.
And basically they've sent them out.
I agree with the chat. Now bring us Battlefleet Gothic.
Please.
Because we never don't
Please.
want more games of chat. Bring us more!
Oh,
Some forces are trying to stop them, so the Imperial
want some
obviously
sweet,
isn't
glorious
trying to do
spaceships.
Eldar,
To be fair, I would absolutely
developing into
love for
civilizations
Games
of
Workshop
the
to bring
this
back
battles
Battlefleet
erupting.
Gothic.
So from a lore perspective,
When the video games happened, I thought they might.
I really thought they would too, because I feel like they had done very well, but
the other thing that this means, a new series, a new narrative will also herald new miniatures. So there will be lots of cool new things, right? There'll be lots of.
I
Cool
feel
new
like I have
things
not
that
heard
are
anything
tying
for
into this
Aeronautica
film.
in
We'll post
forever.
some of those in the future.
I think they got a rules update actually just 2 or 3 months
One
ago.
of
Oh,
the-
did they? Okay.
So I suppose defining nature of the battles that's happening off the back of the arcs of Omen is that these great big arcs are either attacking Imperial stations and fleets, or they're trying to be boarded basically by the Imperials and other Xenos.
Does this
races to
weirdly
stop
look
them.
like an
So you've got
unfinished
these
piece to you?
Enormous, great boarding action battles.
Yes.
That are erupting
Okay.
all across the place.
I'm like, this is
So
somebody's
there's-
concept
there's,
sketch
some
of a
rules
piece
to
that they're
play
not
inside the book.
finished
Nah,
with
it is,
yet.
it's a
There's an
style. It's
interesting
a
thing about these
style.
books, which is kind of come.
I guess that's
directly
true.
It's
from
concept art.
feedback from customers.
It's
Which is
actual
that you don't
concept art.
have
Yeah.
Any new rules for the core Warhammer 40,000
So
game?
for match play specifically, right?
Kind of for all of the game really. So there's no crusade rules in these. There's no match play rules in these, and that's come from feedback from players basically that says we don't really want our rules for a single army to be spread over multiple books,
Seems fun.
which is cool. Like we hear you. So what you've got in these instead is something even better, which is a brand new way to play Warhammer 40,000. It's a self-contained expansion that basically allows you to play boarding action battles of Warhammer 40,000. So these aren't the kind of small scale.
Do you think this is them
skirmishes that you've
testing
seen in things like Into the Dark? This is full scale.
a
one
new
army versus
way to
another
release
army
rules
across
that
the
doesn't
inside of a
do?
spaceship.
I mean, if you believe what
Army
they're
updates?
saying, what they're trying to do is less
Reminiscent of,
army
some of the
creep.
best bits of
Yeah.
And
basically.
instead go, okay,
If you read
well, we're
any
going to
of,
give you a different
any
way to fight with
large
your
amounts of
army,
40K fiction, there's probably
instead of giving you
boarding
a
action
different way to
based
fight
on
with your army in the way you already do. Instead, use that existing army to fight indoors. Use that army to fight in zero gravity.
Fair to say.
Use that to fight, you know, I don't know.
Something
Interesting.
That sort of thing.
It's an interesting concept. I'm gonna be curious to see how like the community
something
takes to it.
to
You're gonna
Right?
need some terrain.
yep, perfect. Segue. Let's go.
The galaxy is burning, so get away from it all on a beautiful Space Hulk holiday from Imperial Cruises. Thanks
All right.
to our new boarding action package, you can step right off the boat and experience the trip of a short and violent lifetime. You'll never escape this labyrinth or run out of things to see and do. All a short walk away through corridors too cozy for traffic. There's never a dull moment when the locals come to put on a show. And while you're taking in the sights, don't miss
like those.
the decaying remains of civilization
I like those too.
around your feet.
They're
You'll
Space
find
Hulk
history in every
bases.
step.
bases and
So
stuff.
what
That's
are you
cool.
waiting for? We await your visit on the Arcs of Omen.
Okay, I love that that was primarily an ad for those bases.
Yeah, that was cute. And for the terrain.
Boarding
okay.
actions, an enormous set of terrain so you can fight your own battles on the inside of some derelict Hulk.
Absolutely. So we've seen already that the first place we've seen this terrain is in the Into the Dark set.
Absolutely.
This
Okay, I was
is
wondering. I was like,
a
these
much
walls look
bigger
like the ones
expansion
that we got
of
from
this.
Into
So
the Dark.
This is a Warhammer 40,000 sized battlefield for combat patrol sized games of Warhammer 40,000 using boarding actions terrain. So it's played across, and inside that box you get 2 kill team boards worth of scenery.
Yep.
That's cool.
And combat patrol battles generally are played at about 500 points. But what tends to happen is because it doesn't include things like monsters and vehicles, you tend to have slightly different force compositions than you would for a combat patrol size game. So you tend to find things like Terminators and Orc Knobs and Tau Breacher teams and Striking
Oh,
Scorpions.
are
all those
these
kind of, like,
how you
close
hook them
range,
together?
Yes.
Deadly units.
Ah,
which
so
are
they
close
actually
combat, very
clip.
quick
That's
firefighting,
cool.
Yes.
do
Yeah,
very
I think
well.
you had mentioned that, but I
Kind
hadn't
of
seen like the
it's a very
connection
different
point.
play experience from Warhammer 40,000 basically, and it gives you something really interesting to bring into things like if you're doing a campaign or something at home and you want to kind of recreate a different type of battle that's underground or in a spaceship or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Those sort of linked games where you can start to sort of create a narrative with your gaming group are a delight.
Yep.
And these really sing to that. And as you can see, the games themselves have the potential to look just incredible, don't they? Sort of fighting over every doorway, every corridor, every choke point.
And it is pretty cool looking.
Yep, love it.
It makes me go. It makes me really
like I
feel
said,
like it's a
this,
more of an RPG,
boarding
like an addition to an
box
RPG
set
experience
contains,
because of the doors and
two
stuff.
times the
I'm sure
content.
this is also they know from their feedback that shorter game sessions are something people are always trying to achieve for lunch games.
Yeah, people just don't have as much time to be able to dedicate 3 hours to a game anymore.
But people also don't want to learn new rules, so this allows you to use your 40k knowledge in a kill team space.
Yeah. Oh, I like that the bases come with like extra pieces.
Oh, that's nice.
He's also be a piece of cake to paint if you spray him green.
Cool.
Absolutely. So I mean, it's a small thing, isn't it? But it's nice to have some really cool base options. Lots of Warhammer 40,000 armies obviously have got grass tufts and dirt and things like that. But plenty of the battlefields of Warhammer 40,000 are inside, industrial, in spaceships, that sort of thing. And certainly some armies lend themselves very well to this sort of aesthetic. So if you've got like Imperial Fists or Iron Warriors or Gene Stealers or Terminator-led force, then actually having a kind of space hulky looking boarding actiony flavored scenery kit for your bases will just set the models up really nicely.
Yeah, perfect. So Warhammer 40,000 boarding actions. So we've also just to like do a bit of sort of retreading to where we come from. We've unveiled the Cadia Stands Army box. We've talked about the Arcs of Omens. We've talked about Warhammer 40,000 boarding actions.
It's okay, Adam.
Nice
Just
little
breathe.
Kill team. Little
His brain's fried.
how it connects.
And it's a long day.
Welcome to the Shadow Vault.
Okay, are they just releasing... Oh!
Oh. Ooh, boy. I like how derp he looks.
Plasma Sight Accelerator.
Yeah, what's
Despotech.
got some new units. I really like that guy.
I was gonna say, is that a special... I think it's a special character death mark?
I think so. Okay, I was gonna say, this looks like a kill team.
Well, I have to get that box.
Yep, we will be having to get that box.
Fantastic. A new set for Kill Team featuring a very beloved unit of Astra Militarum soldiers, the Kazakin, and some...
That looks so cool. I love
among the Necrons.
the
Yeah, so
vehicles.
this is Shadow Vault's the first expansion for Kill Team Into the Dark, and effectively allows you to bolt this on to your Into the Dark collection, or to kind of use as a standalone Kill Team.
You're gonna have so many.
I don't want to talk about how many walls I'm gonna have in my freaking backlog.
Oh no, I just also was going to say you're gonna have so many of that one Necron character, the one with the staff, because I feel like you have like 4 of them or something.
Adam, I know you're a big fan of the Kazakin. Do you wanna?
I really am, and I'm
geek out about
going to
these guys.
start by addressing a question, which is what's the difference between Kazakin and Tempestus Scions? And the difference is that these are the elite soldiers of the Gate World Cadia, such as it was. Obviously, with Cadia destroyed, the Kazakin that escaped continue to exist, and they recruit and train new ones. Kazakin are seriously elite.
You excited
soldiers.
for the Cadians?
The regiments of Cadia that pride themselves on being more elite than your average Astra Militarum regiments anyway. They're clad in carapace armour, which is that heavy armour you see. They carry Hellguns or hotshot lasguns as their standard armament. They have a preponderance of specialist weapons you'll see throughout the squad. You've got.
I feel like this guy in the center here needs another guy who's fallen to the ground, is about to get overwhelmed by whatever he's about to shoot, because he's like, not today.
He has the tactical rock.
Yes, he. Oh my God, he does have the tactical rock.
Rumbling out the back of chimeras and just bringing death with fusillades of incredibly accurate firepower. These are the elite of the elite. If you are just an ordinary human.
Oh, they look so good. I love the bomb guy with his giant padding that makes him look like he's just like.
Enemy tracer stuff to give you an idea of how tough these guys are. So their weapons, a lot of them are designed to be kind of armor-piercing, space marine killing weapons, basically.
Is that a mini grenade launcher?
That's just a grenade.
It's just a grenade launcher, alright.
With any of the recent
That is your default launcher of grenades.
Excellent. It just looks so compact.
That's the size of them.
Okay, fair enough.
As you know, mostly with their hotshot las guns, or you can go for loads of different special weapon choices. You've got every special weapon flavor you could want. There's also some kind of unique kill teamy specialists in there. So you've got a demolition guy that you can see on the extreme left there.
That is nice. How kill team. They're actually
putting some like.
I mean, I know it's a kill team box, so that makes sense. But since these will finalize as 40k kits, still nice to see them really representing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like 40 of these in there.
What an interest! I just noticed, like, what a basic paint job on their bases.
The context you were referring to, how versatile it was. We're talking.
Because those aren't the fancy bases. They just put like a random amount of sand and then paint like it's black otherwise.
Yeah, they just have bullets.
And then you've got
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, there's little
I
bullet
see, I see.
Which doesn't make any sense when most of them are firing energy weapons.
For me,
Yeah.
the kill team boxes have done is
How
quite a lot
weird.
of the time, I want to get 2 boxes just because there's so many options. Certainly, if you've been using something like the
Stop encouraging your customers to overbuy.
You've got more options that are really good that you want to use, right? So you can get.
I see what you're doing.
And intermingle them.
I hear it.
Depending on your opponent. Obviously, that's for kill team.
It is really nice to actually see these guys, though.
These guys as well.
Yeah.
They're going to have rules in the new.
That was one of the questions: is will these work well in Warhammer 40,000? The answer is hell yes.
Of course they will. They always do.
Will these miniatures function, or will I put them on the table and then the table will bug out? It'll turn to it'll be like Skyrim where you touch something and the physics just fly off. You don't want to put those minis down.
No, you can't. If these minis touch a Warhammer 40k table,
So
the world will
They're
break.
incompatible.
They're incompatible. It just will not work.
Siege veterans, or they've been had extra parade drills, or they've had extra they're extra tough or resilient or something
And
like
they
that.
specialise in something else on top.
Yeah, so it's a little bit like if you used to do a similar thing with veterans.
Okay, I have a question. Is their camo pattern actually effective?
That's basically this. So they're more elite.
As they are a fictional group of individuals, yes.
It's a really nice little
The
rule to play
40k
with.
rules.
Okay, is there any other reason that they would have such weird,
Shortly afterwards, so
like,
hands on it, nice and promptly. Don't panic.
oddly placed
But
shapes
they're
like
not
that
alone,
on their
just,
armor?
you know, sort of having a parade.
Or is it? Do you think it is actually camo? Because like I feel like it's the weirdest camo I've ever seen.
Canadian camo.
Okay, fair
New
enough.
things added in and some awesome upgrades, right?
Yeah, so the idea for this faction is that it's a cryptech and his retinue, basically. So he is exploring the space hulks, looking for artifacts, looking for kind of arcane treasures, and he's brought his warriors with him in case he bumps into any enemies, which is what you want to do inside a space hulk. So some of these miniatures are miniatures we've seen before. So the cryptech in the center.
Maybe
is an
it's a
existing
battered
miniature,
gear look.
and then some of them are brand
It's just
new,
so crisp
some
and
of them
clean.
are
It kind of like
upgrades
it's
for
sort of
existing
weird to me.
Necrons. So it's a bit of a mix of different things. One of my favorite touches is the smaller Necron that you can see there, the guy just to the left of the Cryptech. He is an Apprentech, so he's basically a Cryptech in training. He's like an apprentice to the Cryptech, and he's not quite got the kind of arcane skill, but he kind of knows his way around some kind of dark physics, and he's got a kind of cool staff as well.
Is
He
it
can look after
wrong that I
himself in
find the
combat.
Necron subordinates quite adorable?
I think there is a sort of like humorous tragedy to the Necrons in terms of like how they've hierarchied themselves. But what's quite sad, obviously, is that the Cryptech will probably never die, right? Because he's a Necron, so he'll never actually get to be a Cryptech. He'll just kind of stay as a second.
I was like, how does that work?
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, so you have like
Somebody in the chat said Necron looking for
a squire essentially, but like he'll never get out of that. He'll never become a knight.
I don't know, like a billion years since they went to sleep, and there's a lot of stuff missing.
Yes.
So I don't blame them, sending out expeditions.
Anyone seen my ancient vase?
Exactly, right. These are some serious foes to fight against.
Are those just death marks?
Immortal
Might be.
Despotic,
Then
which is the
just
fellow
new
in the centre
sculpts for
right
them,
now,
maybe.
just looks like final boss level when you compare these two kill teams directly against
He's
each
a
other.
literal death machine.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
So this kit is based on the existing Immortals and Deathmark kit.
Okay.
Okay.
You can obviously make that kind of more interesting character in the middle, and you get some other multi-part options for your Necrons as well, which is something nice because a lot of your Necrons are quite kind of they are serried ranks of identical warriors, right? That's kind of their thing. But the warriors inside a Cryptek circle have things like different optics. So if you look at the death marks there, they've got different choices for heads, and you can imagine special tracking equipment. And
Well, I was hoping for
seeing through walls
a new
and
character,
backwards
but
in
oh well.
time and all sorts of.
Yeah, I'm a
weirdness.
little disappointed
Oh,
that all it
it's
is his heads, but I mean, whatever, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody asked what was the base size on the the Kazakin.
Who is this guy?
28.5 millimeters. Some people just like to know the base size.
Okay,
Who am I to
sure,
judge?
sure.
There are also some awesome little extras in this set as well as the models and the.
I love the
weapons
the
cache.
breach arm.
And the
Oh, yeah. No, it's great.
robot units. I think they're actually described as robots. I'm not just making that up. You have a
Then they're
heavy
heresy.
bolter turret sentry and a robot crawler machine. with or without
It is
bolter
heresy
arm.
then.
And it does look like it's going to become the new champion of Robot Wars.
Yeah.
It does. It does look like a Robot Wars vehicle, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
but if you flip it, it's doomed.
It is. I don't know. It might be able to use that arm and bend it backwards and like
Self-right, yeah.
self-right, so it could be all right.
Scenery basically that comes with this new set.
I do feel like if it goes up against this robot, though, it's just gonna get blown away.
Yeah, that's the real champion.
Frames that kind of give you a little bit more variety, and these things do stuff in your games and allow you to play slightly different.
They never
scenarios
die.
and missions and that sort of stuff. So they give you a very
Because they're Necrons, and they just
space
port
hulk
back to
flavor
the
Really, all this
the
is
tomb.
the Cryptek is trying to liberate these poor enslaved robots
Yeah!
from the Imperium. That's
Exactly.
gonna be my
Shadow
narrative.
Vaults.
I like that narrative. Canon accepted.
coming very soon. Very soon.
Oh, and here's a juicy piece of information, which is around the same time that this comes out. I think it's the same week. There is a Black Library novel all about Kazakin, written by a fella, and I had a dip into that just recently, and it's excellent. So there you go, a little tidbit from behind the scenes. Very excited. Right, we're not done yet, but we're running gloriously behind schedule. Some people have been asking in the chat, can you please show us something for the World Eaters? All right then.
That one guy in the chat is like, it worked!
It worked! Yay! I mean, to be fair, I wholly
Come
expected
on,
to see
is
World
it,
Eaters.
is it him? Karn. No.
No. Juggernaut?
Bitch?
New Juggernauts. Oh, I might have to paint out break out the old pewter ones and do a paint job of one.
Ooh. I like his head.
I do too. I think he's glorious. Look at his little round mouth with all those teeth.
Aw.
The unstoppable carnage.
He's cool.
He is cool.
A new hero. Is hero the right model?
There are no heroes in the 41st millennium.
Oh, okay, so it is a named character.
A incredible Khorne Berserker champion riding a
Leaping over his tactical rock.
Yes.
of angry metal.
Yeah, this guy's pretty much just a wrecking ball of pain. So he.
It honestly looks like it's about to
the
trip on
concept
that
you
rock.
might have heard before if you,
Yeah.
if you read every.
There's his little front hooves clip it. It just goes tumbling
I'm
over
waiting.
itself.
Like that's what feels like it's going to happen. Like because he's so
maybe
downward
Chaos
facing,
that sort of thing.
rather than like his
I'm
snout.
pretty
being-
sure the rock will break.
This is
That's true. I do appreciate the
champion
chain
is,
dagger
blessed by Khorne.
attached to the front of his
He's
face.
got a
Because his Juggernaut
chain
was
horn.
violent
Yeah.
enough. He's put a chain.
How does it rev? How does he turn it on? Is it just like-
Sure that if he hits something, it's definitely
Because it's corn, so they're not like psychically controlling it. Is there a
Full
button?
of momentum,
Yes.
power. It looks very cool. We've seen.
It's
similar
always
ones
on.
recently.
It's just always on. It's just
Tomorrow.
constantly.
Juggernaut arguably is even more.
Chain horn goes brrrr.
The Chaos Lord himself on the back is like every inch cornate, right? So he's
No.
like very.
What?
very
Yes, I love it.
The helmet itself is a massive.
I really like the way that they did the glowing symbols on the side of the.
It looks like he's
the
going to
Juggernaut.
pretty much anything he hits, doesn't he?
Yeah, good glow effect there.
Pointing out that
Not that Games Workshop would ever use an airbrush.
Definitely never,
A model
or
using-
not their own paint.
You have that one.
Do I have? I don't have the named. I don't have this
I think you
character.
might have that one.
Really?
You have that Juggernaut.
I don't know. I have juggernauts like this.
They use the same one.
Do they all?
Back then.
Ah, okay.
The new model is just that even his boots have.
I just don't remember those shoulder
I think I
pads.
had that
Range
originally.
personified.
I've got that.
On any of
I
mine.
really do have one that has those chunky squares.
Do we? That's really cool. I'll have to look at the set now. Because, yeah, I have a variety that I got, like, in 2020. Yeah, in 2020. I bought some Bretonians off somebody, but in that package, they also sent me what they had left of, like, their old Chaos Force. And it was a bunch of, like, Chaos Dwarves. Lead pewter, like, juggernauts. And then, like, a bunch of, like, lead and pewter other things as well.
Yeah, so a few other things to say about this miniature. It does have some build options. We're not going to show all of the build options today, but there's some other stuff you can
That
do
would
with these
imply
kits.
there's a non-named character
If
version.
you've had the,
Yeah, which just means you can probably put him as, like, the head of your bigger squad.
demons in with your,
I wonder if he comes in that set, like in a new Juggernaut set, and he's just like in the same way that the Votan character you could build as the non-named version.
The faster
Yeah.
demonic charges of the World Eaters. It's not all about running at people with a chainsaw. Sometimes it's about getting on something that's running at people with a chainsaw.
Yeah, it is kind of weird to me that they're remaking this particular model. Like, not the named character, but if this is in fact part of a kit with a bunch of Juggernauts already, I don't feel like the existing, most recent Juggernaut kit really validates updating. I thought it was already fine.
I disagree.
Yeah, but really?
It's been around since I was in high school.
Oh gosh, has it been that long? Okay, never mind. I take that back. I'm probably just like not remembering the look of them.
They're pretty. The thing is, they're plastic, but they're very basic looking.
Are they
It's
just
a
lack
basic
detail?
bloodletter riding a kind of basic looking blood crusher.
Oh, okay. Then that's kind of annoying then.
I used to kick your ass with them back in the day.
I do recall that.
Yes. So, where have we gone?
This kind of looks like he has teeth on his boots. He's just got really big, thick, chunky boots so that he can stomp through the mud and like really leave a good
It helps.
impression.
Yeah, well, maybe it helps him bite through. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? He's riding a big demon. It probably helps him grip into the skin of the demon because they usually don't like use saddles or anything, and that's how he's holding on.
Boxed set of new Astra Militarum models coming very soon.
Wait, they're doing a wrap up? Does that mean?
And
Yeah.
it's like sort of
It's been an hour.
Oh, okay.
Astra Militarum range. Arcs of Omen, the next big thing in the lore.
I suspect we'll get a teaser to
Something, yeah.
And Gron. I'm gonna guess.
That is my expectation as well.
Sort of throw the Imperial.
Because I really don't think at this point we're gonna do.
No,
They're even gonna touch on
They're
him.
setting up for that next year.
And fight in the bowels of Space Hulks and battle cruisers.
They don't like to do it around the holidays, I think.
I don't think so either. As well, especially if they have to wait until Gen Con. Like, it'll probably be a
They
post the
announce
holiday
it in the
season.
summer, then they release it Gen Con, then they.
And obviously,
That way they're settled by the holiday.
Yep.
it has been quite the time.
It's been fun. It's been nice talking about Warhammer 40,000's 35 years.
I agree. What are you most excited about coming up?
Ooh, I mean, I think I'm quite excited about the next Kill Team box. Actually, I think I'm really enjoying Kill Team at the moment. I've got some Corsairs on my table right now, and I think I'll get some games with them in, and then on to Kaiserkin after that.
That seems fair. I'm weirdly excited about the artillery pieces for the Cadian army. I'm gonna look at
I mean, is that weird or is that just what you should be excited about?
bombard
Can
people.
definitely do that.
I assume
I'm still wondering, okay, if we're gonna get a teaser video at the end, it could also be a Russ, Lehman Russ. That doesn't help at all. The tank.
I was like, the Space Wolf Primarch?
Coming and joining us from all.
No, I think that could be a good call too, a Lehman
Who's
Russ.
pressed all the buttons and made the stream work. Notley for running the moderation. Eddie for knowing all the answers to all the difficult questions. Whoever told me the base sizes, and most importantly, all of you for making this.
Yay.
You're welcome, Adam.
You're welcome, Adam and Eddie,
Special.
for being
We're gonna
here.
leave you with a little cheeky tease.
Yeah,
So,
let's see that
we'll
cheeky
sign out
tease.
Let's see that cheeky tease. Please be an ass cheek.
Dark Elves? This is a lot of pink.
It is, but that's definitely Abaddon.
Interesting. A new heretic.
Interesting indeed. Okay.
Alright, so for the wrap up, I
Yeah.
will go ahead and leave you here.
Yes, alright. So, that was Warhammer Day. Thank you guys for joining me as we took a peek at what Games Workshop has to offer us coming in the future. I think we learned about some pretty exciting things. Honestly, I love the focus personally on the Imperium. Or the Imperial Guard, sorry. Warhammer is offline now. That's fine. So yeah, I really enjoyed the emphasis on the Imperial Guard. It's nice to see just some new products coming out for them. Like Adam, I am very into the artillery pieces. I think those look really cool. But honestly, the kill team set was really neat to see as well. I personally am very into the doors and like this breaching. Whoop, I totally bumped the desk. Sorry about that. I'm really into that new concept that they're taking, going indoors, introducing some new rules. I'm gonna be curious about the new book that they have coming out, just because it's very interesting. Hey, Chaos Cultist, can you get in the chat? We got somebody spamming some stuff. But yeah, I think that was really cool. I love seeing a little hint of some stuff from the World Eaters. I will admit I'm a little disappointed. I was not super thrilled with the Juggernaut. Like, it looked cool, but I need to see it in another angle. They just showed us that one shot, and right now, like, the pose looks a little strange to me. And I kind of want to see... I mean, I was really, I think, just hoping to see more from the World Eaters. Maybe getting a preview of Angron. Although I am incredibly interested in the final tease with Chaos turned metal. Like, what was that? Do you guys have any thoughts? Definitely let me know. We're gonna keep going for a little while, just not a huge amount longer, just to kind of wrap up what exactly we saw and everything. Definitely make sure to let me know either in the chat or in the comments once this video has gone live on YouTube after the stream has ended of what your thoughts were. I'll probably be covering a little bit of what we looked at here in the hobby news on Monday, but probably only very briefly because we'll have talked about it through this. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to be trying to do this a little bit more whenever Games Workshop has some big announcements. And if there's other wargaming live streams where they do like announcements like this, like I don't actually know if like Mantic or maybe if Marvel Crisis Protocol with Atomic Mass or for Star Wars Legion, we could maybe do some of these as well. But definitely for the Warhammer ones, because this was a lot of fun and I hope you guys really enjoyed it because I know I did. Anyways, I am going to head out. I'm going to go get some breakfast now because it's super early in the morning for me and I'm hungry. So yeah, I'm going to head out. Thank you guys so much. And I'll see you next time. Bye.